Somebody sent this to me. This is from the ENAGIC, the KANGEN water pyramid scheme. This is a multi-level marketing company. This is their convention, and there's a guy that raps. I watched like 2 seconds of it, and I thought I gotta make a video to this. So take a look at this.
If not, we'll just roll with it. Wow. Look at this stadium.
Look at it.
Take a moment to look around at your friends.
At everybody in this cult. We're at a large group awareness training. It reminds me of Amway, that really weird movie that was banned by Amway for years, and now you can see it up on YouTube, and I reacted to it. I think it was in another language. What in the world? Was it Polish? Forgive me. I can't remember what it was. This is weird. Can you imagine you're selling water filters and then you have to go to a conference and this is what happens? This is a large group awareness training. This is cult indoctrination. Hang on.
Your team, your worldwide ENAGIC family.
She's like Xena warrior princess. What is all with these jewels going on here?
This is what 50 years of changing people's lives looks like.
Isn't it crazy? ENAGIC has been around longer than many of us have even been on the planet. Let that...
Now we can tell. I know, this is sad. And it's been around 50 years. I can't wait for this MLM scam to die out too. This is brutal. These look like kids. Like they are basically kids cosplaying as business people. There's older people that get sucked into this too. I'm pushing 50.
Land for a moment. ENAGIC already has created its legacy.
Our question we have for you is, what is yours going to be?
Our message today is simple. If we can do it...
You can't even make this shit up. Look at this. 1974 to 2024. I was born in 75. I never got into ENAGIC. I was in Mon 8. Look at this. They're wearing like matching outfits. The fuck is going on here in Okinawa?
You can do it. You have everything it takes inside of you to create your legacy. And by the time we're done here today, you'll see we started just like you.
I got started with ENAGIC 9.5 years ago.
9.5. Why is everybody clapping?
And when I started, I was in, I was out, I was on, I was off, I was hot, I was cold. I wasn't even sure if it was possible. Before ENAGIC, I was a personal trainer. And after realizing the business wasn't going to give me the freedom I was after.
This is somebody at the top of the pyramid scheme. So then he's going to be talking about his whole, this is my testimony. I was a personal trainer and now look at me, 9.5 years. I finally decided to go all in and stay the course. And now look at, you can one day aspire to be just like me and you can be on this stage. Your life goal is to one day be up there on the stage like him with his sprint that matches. And then he's going to rap. I think this guy's going to rap.
I discovered network marketing.
Oh my God.
In my first company, I didn't make much money, but it gave me a glimpse into the industry that I was inspired by and I'd one day become successful in. I wasn't aligned with the products. I remember thinking,
this is the same story. People hop from one MLM cult to another. And then when they make it big, they're like, you see, I made it. I didn't give up. I just needed to find the right company. It's like they say the same stuff. It's just the scam perpetuates.
If only there was a product that people wanted to use that was good for the planet and really help people.
Water
which led
filters.
me to ENAGIC. When I first met Christie, we were just friends. But I wanted more. So I spent the first 6 months trying to recruit her into ENAGIC.
Wow.
But I ended up falling in love with her along the way.
That's not even funny. It's sad. He recruited her into a cult and now she's in the cult too. That just took a dark turn.
And seeing ENAGIC come inside.
So after 6 months of Clint trying to recruit me, I get a call one day. It's that moment that all girls dream of. He's asking me on a date. He says, babe, clear your schedule. I've got something really special planned. I get in his car, I put on the seatbelt. He looks me straight in the eyes and he says, we're going to the ENAGIC office to get your K8.
I can't even believe they're telling this story like it's like a powerful thing. This is sad. This is cult recruitment. It does take over your life, you know? And so then here they are 9.5 years later at the top of the pyramid scheme, standing on the stage together with most of their downline, the people that they're defrauding, because that's what you do when you're in a fraud, because MLM is fraud. Somewhere along the way, you know, the victims become a perpetrator. Trying to figure out where that line exists. The guy that is in ENAGIC that is using the graveyard and headstones of people as a prop, that's become a predator right there. Victim to perpetrator, there's the line right there. You've crossed that line. These people are at the top. They've seen the churn rate. Because they are benefiting financially from the scam, and the company is 50 years old. It'll be like 51 years old now this year. It's 2025. They will use that as a justification as to why it's not a scam. None of them have tracked their income or expenses. None of them, like neither of them, nobody in that building has ever done a training on how to just track your income and your expenses. They're just blinded by this. This looks weird. KANGEN is another. They're all cults. There's not one MLM that's cultier than others. They're all cults. They have their weird takes on it. This one just is big. I mean, a lot of them are big. Amway's big.
Smooth, right? Now I was freaking out.
God.
I only had $1,040 in my account, and a K8 on e-payment alone was $1,000. And so I was like, okay, this guy's been trying hard for a long time, so I'm just going to get the cheapest model. But then he said,
Nah, babe, you're worth more than that.
so I was like, oh, fine, let's just get the K8. Now, at that point in my life,
Oh my God. Are you telling me? I just started it because I thought they were going to start rapping right away. I did not know they were going to talk. This is like divine intervention that I stopped it right here just to react, to do a quick reaction video. He's wooing her, courting her for 6 months, and then she feels obligated, like she owes him. And I'm taking you to ENAGIC to sign up for some ridiculous water machine and then a filter and their whatever else they're selling. And you deserve it. This is actually for you. And because you have hardly any money, that's why you should like max out your credit cards, get a loan, because this is going to be big. He recruited her into his downline. And now she's at the, she's probably like at the top with him. This is gross. Wow.
life, I was climbing out of a deep, dark hole. Anyone else been there?
Yeah.
Yeah. We've all had those moments.
Emotional manipulation. Yeah. Are you in debt? Are you depressed? Maybe you wanted to try to kill yourself. Maybe you've been in an abusive relationship. How many have been there? Yeah. Are you having no money right now? Did you scrape together all you could to come to this convention? Yeah. Give me more money. Go out and tell everybody that if they're in debt and they're vulnerable, that they shouldn't go seek help, but that they should get recruited into this pyramid scheme, this cult. Yeah. KANGEN. Our water machines are revolutionary. Oh my God.
That's right. See, I'd spent years trying to become a successful entrepreneur and create freedom for myself, but I always just ended up burnt out, frustrated, and barely getting by.
So were you in a number of multi-level marketing companies too? Because you don't look that old. So you were dating him for 6 months, and after 6 months, he kept pressuring you, dripping on you to then take you and recruit you. And then you didn't have enough money, and that's okay. This is so gross. Born out of coercion. Oh, this relationship. This is nuts.
At the point of meeting Clint, I just closed down my cafe where I was working 18 hours a day. I ended up having a nervous breakdown. I had stage 5 adrenal fatigue.
Wow, you were at your most vulnerable. So you shut down your cafe, you're experiencing health issues, you have no money, and guess what happens? A fucking piece of shit pyramid scheme swoops in to the rescue. And thank God now you can emotionally manipulate people and become the predator that you were made to be and parade around on stage. Look at us. We've made it. This is so disgusting. MLMs need to die. MLMs need to be done. This is so disgusting. And then you'll see people that defend MLMs. This is such a beautiful industry. It's not an industry. It's fraud. It's giving so much to the economy, wherein it's taking away from economies around the world. Oh my, and this is the best. This is the cream of the crop. This is what rises to the top of a pyramid scheme. This is ENAGIC. Holy shit.
And I was really at the rock bottom of my life. See, I wanted to own a business, but the business ended up owning me.
When I first got into Christie's car, there was like boxes in the back. There was foundation all over the seats. And I thought to myself, is she living in her car?
I was, but I didn't want him to know that. I liked the guy. And to be honest, the first time I went on a date with Clint, I thought, wow, this guy's super successful. I rock up at his waterfront property. There was business books everywhere.
And
Personal development books from John Maxwell. She was homeless living in her car and he fucking recruited her into a pyramid scheme. This is also reminding me of that Jeff and Shalea. You know, that, what was that, that other cult? I forget, Twin Flames. It's giving me that feeling too. Oh my God.
the truth was, the waterfront house, I was house sitting for my boss because I was actually living at home with my mum. Love you, mum.
Who thinks?
Oh, so you deceived her. You fed into the illusion that you were this big successful businessman, but you weren't either.
This would make a funny movie.
Fast forward 2 years, I'd become committed to Christie, and we'd both become committed to ENAGIC. Christie was 6 months pregnant, and we're on a team call. And they're talking about this event in Vancouver that was just 1 week away. Something inside told me that we just had to be there, but we didn't have any money.
Jesus Christ, it never changes, you know? It never changes. This is the same stuff that I experience, that we all experience. If you've been an MLM, you've heard this too. You know, it's like you have to get to the event, and people went through impossible hurdles just to get to this event. And when they got to that specific event, thank God they did. They had to sell their couch. They had to sell all their kids' toys. They had to sell everything to get to that event because something at that event changed things for them. They finally unlocked whatever was locked previously, and they were able to overcome all their limiting beliefs. And now they're at the top of the pyramid scheme. It's always about getting to an event. As soon as you get in, you know, you think it's just about buying a product. It's never about the product. It's always about now you got to get to an event. Now you got to, the cult takes more and more of your money. The cult takes more and more of your time.
So we spent the first 4 days deciding should or shouldn't we go. So we did what any spiritual hippie does to get clarity in life. We went to a psychic. I went to Byron Bay, this old German lady with grey hair. We sat down. She was fanning tarot cards. She did a spread for myself. She did a spread for Christie. And despite maybe 1 or 2 cards, they were the exact same spread. She said, there is so much abundance here. You have to be at this event.
Plot twist. The old German psychic lady was at the top. She's above them. The pyramid scheme. You have to get to this thing. She was getting a cut.
So we were desperate to get the money together. We started selling things.
Ironically, we even sold our K8. Now, I don't recommend doing that. Sorry, compliance. However, we're in some pretty drastic times to get to this event.
It was the day of our flight. We were driving to the airport.
See, now what does this have to do with growing an actual business? This is cult indoctrination. It doesn't matter what MLM you're in, Primerica, Mon8, Arbonne, name an MLM, we all hear the same thing. People that had to sell everything, they had to sacrifice so much. Almost like the more you sacrifice, the more riches that you're going to be worth. You're going to be worthy to receive. They always do this, these leaders. They're not leaders, they're just people that are at the top of a scam. And some of them are aware of what they're doing. Some of them aren't. A lot of them that are at the top, they know what's going on. They know that they're hurting people. They know that their success relies on them continuing to deceive people and go through this memorized script of behavior. I was so desperate. I was nothing before this company. Thank God I sacrificed so much because it saved my life. And you just have to stay the course. All of you people, congratulations. You're people that are taking your business seriously. Just by you being here is putting out into the universe that you're ready for the next level. We've heard it all before. And all of this originates with Amway, you know. Wow.
Still with no ticket.
When the hell does he start rapping? I don't think that he raps during this YouTube video. Maybe there's another one that I'm missing. Maybe it's in here and I'm missing it. And I'm sorry if it is in there. And thank you very much to the person who just gave me the heads up about this. I really appreciate you. And maybe you explained it to me and maybe I've already forgotten. This is what happens sometimes. But I did go on and I was like clicking around and I did find, I think it's his YouTube channel where he has this song. And I kind of clicked around on his Instagram and it was like something about men's sexual energy circuitry. It always skitters off into the weird fucking sex stuff with every cult, you know, every time. So if you think of this, the whole point is like, you're going to earn some extra money. You're going to earn financial freedom. And it always escalates, right? So you start on this buying a water machine, going into debt, being, you know, vulnerable. And then you go into debt to buy this machine. And then whoever is rising up the top, they get fucking nuts, more and more nuts until they're near the top. And then they're doing this kind of thing. Suddenly they can like help you with your sexual release and they've got like men's only retreats. Oh, it just keeps going. I haven't looked too closely at this, but let's just take a look at his song here. This is what he was singing. Because I'm sure I read somewhere that he did perform at one of these large group awareness trainings. When I was also clicking around, I could see him on his Instagram. He's like, you used to be afraid to speak in front of people, but now you do 200 push-ups in front of people. Like he is just an attention, like just wants the attention so much and just like feeding it. Can you imagine being at an event and you just see some fucking asshole go up on stage and you have to watch him do 200 push-ups? Who cares? Like, why are you here? How is this helping me grow my business? Oh, I have a question. Are you going to explain what the Koscot pyramid scheme test is in the US? It's, you know, it's determining what a pyramid scheme is. You know, when a participant pays a company for the right to sell a product and then also for the right to receive rewards for recruiting other people into that program, you know, unrelated to the sale to end users. You want to touch on that? How about a training on us just tracking our expenses? Can you give me the definition of an investment versus an expense? I'm just curious. Oh no, I get to watch you do 200 push-ups. Why? You know, what's going on in ENAGIC is just fucking brutal. This is nasty. So if you've been in ENAGIC and maybe you're waking up, you're on your way out, there's a lot of anti-MLM content creators out there that have that are going to help you. And this is just me doing my contribution. I do it my way. And it might not be for you, and that's okay, but there's lots of other anti-MLM content creators out there giving you like a big safety net to consume all different kinds of content to allow you to deprogram, feel all your feelings, and start moving through them and moving forward in your life. Okay, let's watch what he's up to now. This is his video. This is one of his songs. I think it's about his retreat, one of his retreats, because I kind of listened to a little bit of it.
Now that my brother passed away, it was time for me to finally press play on a plan to rewire the man in pain, show the man how to live the rich mystic way. I set a date and a place for the retreat. On a sacred land was the place to meet. As a man, we know it is hard to take some space in our life with all the bits and all the spinning plates. Tension is to lead deep in the unknown, and what a better way than the journey with the toad. We began to see the man coming out the shell. Every single man had a story to tell. It was the first day and we said start at 10. It is my goal to have the house done by then. It was 7:30 and the house was still a mess. Let's progress, no rest, we're all giving it our best. When my brother's on the mountain and the others on my phone, your pictures on the windowsill, your lovers on the moon. When you go and make a fountain, and you know that someone's home. My brother's had it is I contend and I've done in five. Nothing like a deadline to finish in time. The men arrive at time, so I dive right in. First up is freedom, cow intention setting. And then the oppression and suppression of emotion. Feeling the compression of aggression in the motion. Before we have a lunch, we all go for a swim in the creek off the rocks where we...
Okay, I've seen enough. I think you have too. I don't know, maybe he had a family member pass away or something. I don't know what's going on there, but I think this is used as a recruitment tool, you know. This is what you can find if you start poking around on the internet thinking maybe I'll join ENAGIC. So it's important for people to see that the average person that's going to be presented with this business opportunity, they're going to just maybe click around. They're going to stumble across this stuff. They're not going to do a logical, cohesive, deep dive and do all this research. They're going to go and they're going to compile notes and hire an editor and then make a YouTube video about this. They're going to just kind of click around. Hopefully they are. Maybe sometimes they don't. Sometimes they just get sucked in. But that's the approach that I use of like, somebody sends you a link, like you need to watch this. This is the company that they're trying to recruit you in. And then you stumble across, or like start watching at this point in the video. This is the person who's reached out to you, or this is the person that's at the top of the pyramid scheme. He's going to be your upline. They're going to come across this information. So it's important to equip people, consumers that are navigating into this strange realm of multi-level marketing that they didn't know existed. Maybe they had it like a dim awareness of it, thinking like Amway. They never really, maybe they purchased some products, but they never really got further in past that periphery. But they're starting to, maybe they see a friend or a family member really loving this water machine, and now they've got an invitation. Or maybe they're one of these young men that are getting targeted and recruited into this cult. And they decide, well, I'm just going to look at what my friend sent me. And they're going to be looking at this information. It's all out there for you to see. And they're going to be making a decision based on this information. So part of my advocacy is using dark humor, irreverence, and shit talking as instead of, over 99% of people lose money in every pyramid scheme. This is the definition of the Koscot pyramid scheme test. That kind of, it can kind of land, but when you're already starting to be emotionally manipulated, there's this nuance, this psychological war that's going on with people who are getting recruited into a cult, and they cannot be extracted with facts alone. Facts are important, but they're not the only aspect to help someone extricate themselves from a cult. I hope that kind of makes sense as to where I'm coming from with the approach that I do in making content. And I also, it's very helpful. I know for me, when I exited, it was really helpful for me to see content creators not be intimidated by people that are at the top of the pyramid scheme. It was almost a physical reaction. I'd pull back and think, whoa, they're actually calling them not that smart. They're pointing out that they're lying. Whoa. And then I would be baffled by my own response, thinking, why do I think that they're holier than thou? Why am I having such a big reaction to seeing someone else not know this person who I worship, just call them out? It works on a lot of levels, just seeing people outside of a multi-level marketing cult point things out and not be intimidated by them. So that's another element here, because I know there's a lot of people that are coming across my content. Thank you very much. A lot of you are coming over from Hannah Alonso. I have so much respect for Hannah. Thank you so much. It really is thanks to you. A lot of you are growing this channel substantially. So I have so much respect for Hannah. And yeah, I don't like any MLM company that goes after Hannah. Hannah makes a video and MLM companies, they start to sweat. They start to panic, one video. If they start even hearing that she's going to be making a video, they start to panic. All right, that's what I've got for this video. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.